What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and this is in the spare of the moment. That's why I'm in this. But it's late at night. But I just had to get this out of the way. But this is of course, as the title says, it's AEW versus NXT, and since NXT debuted on the USA Network, fans have been going back and forth with which one's better, NXT, AEW. To be honest, I love them both. I can't pick one over the other. I do watch both of their pay-per-views. I watch them equally. There are positives, and there are things that both companies do better than one company does better than the other, and there's some things AEW does better than NXT. Some things NXT does better than AEW. I hate how fans try to pick a side over which one's better. Every wrestling company or brand or whatever should have fans equally, but this is just my video of it's 4 things that each of them do better than the other. So 4 things AEW does better than NXT, 4 things that NXT does better than AEW. Now let's start with AEW. Number 4, the tag team division. Now the tag team division is a staple in NXT. I mean, not NXT, AEW. You got FTR, you got the Young Bucks, you have Jurassic Express. I mean, they really have a really deep roster when it comes to the tag division. And the tag division is really important, and it really does feel as if the tag team matches or whatever are as important in AEW as they were back in the early 90s and the 80s and the 70s and stuff, when they used to highlight tag team wrestling. They don't really do that much in NXT. There isn't really a lot of tag teams in NXT aside from Undisputed Era. What were the other ones? Breezango, the 2 Imperium guys, 2 guys from Imperium, and Drake Maverick and Keelan and Dame are going to form a team, so that should be fun. But other than that, they cannot compete with AEW when it comes to their tag team division and the tag team roster. Next one, number 3, I'm going to have to say the commentary. The commentary for AEW is very, you have you have one of the best commentators in wrestling history, Jim Ross, who spent years in WWE, and with the three-man commentary team is so entertaining, especially when they have a special guest like a Taz or a Chris Jericho. Every time they have like a Chris Jericho on there, they make the dynamic gets so much more better and so much more. It's just so much entertaining. And it's not to say that the commentary in NXT is bad. It's just that it just feels more. What's the word I'm looking for? In AEW, it feels more. I guess I don't know. Oh God, what's the word I'm trying to use? More impactful, I guess. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, the commentary, number 2 for what AEW does better than NXT is that they make stars. Now, not to say that NXT doesn't, they don't have a lot of superstars that they build up from from the performance center to eventually becoming NXT superstar to becoming like a champion. I, I mean, most of their signees are from the indies or from from another company. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but I think it's more organic to create stars from the ground up or stars that are lesser known and make them a superstar. And essentially, that's what AEW does, especially with Orange Cassidy. Before AEW, I don't even think anyone knew who Orange Cassidy was. Let's see, MJF. Um, he was on the independent circuit before AEW, but he's one of the hottest things in not only in AEW but in the world right now. I mean, you just really feel like you want to freaking punch the guy in the face, and the guy honestly is a future world champion. They have a few others on there that I'm not going to get to right now because it's pretty long. But yeah, their roster of creating their own superstars and giving them their own platform to perform and make a name for themselves is really great. And number one for what AEW does better than NXT is their gimmick matches. Now, NXT doesn't really have a lot of gimmick matches aside from uh, their yearly NXT War Games, which they've done the past 2 years, which I'm glad they brought back. It does have importance, and the matches have been a lot of fun. However, excuse me, AEW is able to create their own kind of cinematic gimmick matches that would be considered kind of silly, but it works within the storyline and what they're going for. Like Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho, for example, they just recently competed at All Out in the what was the match called? I'm not sure. I can't remember what the match was called, but you have to toss your opponent into a vat of like orange, like some sort of orange liquid or whatever, and that worked really good because um, when the feud first started with Orange Cassidy interrupting Jericho during his interview, um, Jericho beat the crap out of him with a bag of oranges, and Jericho got his jacket ruined by having orange juice drenched all over him. So stuff like that really works in AEW, and they're able to take something small and make it something big, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's my list for AEW. As far as NXT, um, okay, let's begin with NXT. Number 4, uh, the oh God. Okay, number 4. I'm losing my train of thought here. The women's division, the women's division in NXT is definitely way stronger than their women's division in AEW. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering over my words. In AEW, and they have a litany. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Of talent of women wrestlers in NXT. Not to say that there isn't in AEW, but there isn't really a lot of AEW female superstars that like huge fans of, aside from Penelope Ford. I do like Penelope Ford and Dr. Britt Baker. But aside from that, there isn't really like a huge depth roster of hungry female wrestlers in NXT. They have Rhea Ripley. They had Mia Yim, who recently moved over to Raw in that stupid Retribution group. Um, you got who else? Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Candice LeRae. You got all these hungry female superstars chomping at the bit, and it truly is amazing. Uh, Number three, I'd have to say, oh, God, the live performances, during the the NXT pay-per-views are really awesome, and they do feel like um, it kind of feels like WrestleMania in a sense when they do those live performances and they have the bands there. They make the entrance twice as better, and they really get you on your feet and get you pumped for the pay-per-view or whoever wrestler they perform for. So the live performances are something I always look forward to. Number two, I have to say the production. The production side, of course, is WWE, and I mean the way they just I mean, it's a $1 billion company, so their production side is a lot better than what they're doing in AEW when it comes to their production side, just because WWE's been in business for years and years and years and years, and they're not going away at all. And yeah, that's number three. Number two or whatever. And the very last one, I would have to say, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, the pre-match promos. The pre-match promos for the pay-per-view matches in NXT are always lit. They always, what's the word I'm looking for? They get you, even if it's a small match, they still get you it still gets you excited about the match, even if whoever's in the match, regardless, the match does still feel important with those pre-match promos, which this needs to take note of, because what NXT does now with the pre-match promos is what they used to do back in the day. But now they don't do that anymore for some reason. It feels like the only big matches they get pre-match promos are the world title matches. But in NXT, when it comes to pre-match promos, it feels like every match on the card is important and has a place on the card. It just feels like it belongs there. So yeah, that's my list. 4 reasons. My 4 reasons. 4 things AEW does better than NXT, and 4 things NXT does better than AEW. So let me know what you guys think of this list. Did I leave anything out on either NXT or AEW? If I did, let me know in the comment section below. Which company do you prefer? Do you prefer AEW or NXT? Which one do you watch more? I can't choose. I love them both. I'm not going to pick one over the other. I'm not that type of person. But let me know what you guys think. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified for new videos that I release. And I'll see you guys in the next video.